This Faith Thing, episode 26. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is trusting in God with all your heart. Faith is knowing that all things are possible with God, that nothing is too difficult for God to do. This faith thing can be easy when we have God on our side. Faith is the word of God. Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, July 25th. It's 11:38 a.m. I just finished with my morning routine, and now I'm taking a break, just trying to plan out everything for this faith thing and this venture, how I'm moving forward with it. Look, I have so many plans. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I don't have the plans, because I cannot possibly do this on my own. God has so many plans for this faith thing, and it's quite, to be honest with you, it's quite overwhelming because I don't know how to go about it. I don't know which way things are going to work out. I don't know if they're going to work out, but I know that with God, everything is possible, and I know that if God is giving me these ideas, that God will do it on his own. Everything is for God's glory. Everything is unto God, and for his glory, I do everything as if I'm doing it for God, because I am doing it for God. I'm not doing any of this for myself. But, so in the past, the way the show has been structured was just that it was going to be only me talking, talk about God, everything God. And if you pay attention to the podcasting world, podcasting is becoming very, very big. It's becoming the it thing, because in our cars that are going to be coming out, I think starting from 2015, actually, all cars are going to come out with what we call iTunes and Google AirPlay. Both of those technology structures, or what are they going to be called? I don't know. Both of those things will be allowing for the playing of podcasts, because a lot of people are moving from ancient day radio. They're not modern day radio. Podcasting is the modern day radio, where I could be in my house and I can be having a live show come out every single day for my audience, which is what I ultimately want to have alongside with my ministry, because eventually I do want to go into the ministry and do that only. Well, this is ministry work that I'm doing now, but I don't want it to be only through my podcast. But I plan to have this podcasting thing for as long as God wants me to have it. But in the midst of my podcast, of course, it has a website, and by God's grace, that website, it's actually done. I'm just waiting for the player that's going to play the podcast so I can embed it into the website, and then I can release it and let it be open for you guys to have access to it. But through the podcast through the website, I have so many ideas. We're going to starting this weekend, starting this Friday, we have webinars, Google Hangouts, whatever you want to call them, where they're going to actually be live. You will actually see me and I'll be talking to you. And then every week, hopefully I will have my sisters or some other guests who will come onto the show, and we're just going to talk about God and have Bible study and pray and ask questions and just chill in the presence of God. I love talking about God, and I love to do it in a very relaxed way, because God he's not a God of confusion, and he's not uptight. He's not strict in one way. He wants you to have fun. He created life for us to have fun and to enjoy it in him. So that is what we're going to do through the webinars. Then I'm also going to launch very soon DunniTalks. DunniTalks will be an episode that will be dedicated once a week to answering questions. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I think I will just pick one question and expand on that one question and answer it personally, the way I feel, genuinely the way I feel about the question, as well as biblically. I will go into the Bible and pull Bible verses for that question, so that ultimately you know what God says about that topic, about that question. And the questions can be anything. I want it to be very open. I want you to be raw. This is a raw podcast. God is raw. I want us to get into God and know how God feels, how God thinks, what God thinks. And I know that he is beyond searchable. There's no way that we're going to ever get to know God the way we know, or the way we think we know ourselves. We can never truly understand God. God works in ways. When we think we are getting to understand one way, he changes it upon us. And that's the mystery of God. And that's what makes God so good. That's what makes him so interesting. And that's why I love God, because God does not have one way to do anything. He has several ways that you can't even think. Sometimes in my head, even though I'm diverging, but sometimes in my head, I always think, I wonder how God cooks. I wonder if, how God cooks. I wonder if he likes spicy food. I'm sure he does. It's just so amazing. Like the drawings that I have in my house, sometimes I'm wondering, like, even though they're perfect, to me, they look perfect, but I'm sure that if God was to draw them, we're going to be blown away. Or, designing of shoes. My husband is a fashion designer, and that's another business that we have. Well, it's mostly his business, but when you're married, it's your business. He's a fashion designer, and one thing that we like, both of us, are shoes. I love shoes, guys, and so does my husband. And the shoes that he designs, they are very beautiful shoes. They're really nice shoes, and sometimes I'm like, man, I wonder what it would look like if God was to design that particular shoe. Even though my husband, he has a gift of doing that, but I wonder what it would look like if God does it. Anyway, so we're going to talk about God. I'll answer the questions, genuinely with the way I think, as well as what the Bible says. So we're going to do the webinars, the hangouts, DunniTalks, and then another key thing that I will be introducing very soon are interviews. I will be interviewing today's pastors from the old, pastors from the new, pastors that are in the middle of their journey. And the goal of the interviews is for me to learn, because ultimately I want to go into ministry, and I don't necessarily desire to have my own church. If that's what God wants, then glory be to God. But that is not what I desire. I desire to be a traveling pastor. I have actually been told that is the calling upon my life, to be a traveling pastor, to go out into the world and to minister the gospel to God's people. And that is what I truly, truly desire. And actually, if I think about it, that is what this podcast has done for me, because every day my show goes into different countries that I would have never thought of. For me to think about Japan, I never thought that somebody would be listening to me from Japan. And whoever you are, or you guys are, because it seems like there's more than one of you, whoever you are, thank you so much. Everybody, actually, thank you so much, because it's just amazing to me that I can be sitting here. I'm in Maryland, if you want to know where I am. I'm in the United States of America, in Maryland, and I'm sitting in my little office here, and I'm recording this episode, and I know that once I hit publish, it's going to go out to the world and anybody can get it. And that's what's so fascinating about the internet, is that this internet radio show can take you to places that you would have never thought of in your life. So I'm so excited about this journey, and excited about the webinars, excited about DunniTalks, excited about interviews, and I'm truly, truly excited to learn from these pastors. I have a very old soul, and I love learning from older people. It is when I learn from them, it is when I speak with them and discuss with them, that I just put things together in life. Just yesterday, because I work in the office at church, just yesterday, I was speaking with my pastor. I love that man. He's truly like my second father. I was sitting in his office yesterday, and we were talking about my birthday. My birthday's coming up in about a little less than 3 weeks. And I told him how old I'm going to turn, even though he knows how old I'm going to turn. And he said, "Oh, you're so young, but you're so matured for your age." And that he's really proud of me, that he knows that I couldn't be older than what I told him I was, but that I act way older than I am. And so then he started to give me some wisdom, some knowledge. And I really, truly appreciate those times with him, because even though sometimes he may feel like it's not doing anything, parents, sometimes when they speak, they feel like this child doesn't get it. It really does help. It really does help me to learn. And I learn quickly. When I'm working in the church office, I learn quickly. I learn about ministry work. I learn about how to deal with people. I learn how to listen to people and be patient, and how to answer, how to pray more. Let me tell you, friends, this journey that I have been on, I have prayed so much that I don't even know how to stop. It's all I can do is pray, because there's so much that God has given me, so much that God has put in my heart, so much that God has put into my hands that I need to take care of. And the way I feel is like I'm carrying an egg, a raw egg in my hand, and I'm walking on this this very thin rope, and I cannot afford for the egg to fall. I'm so cautious about everything. I want to make God happy. I don't want to fail God. And so I pray so much, because even all of these things that I'm sharing with you guys today, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's as if I don't have enough time in the day. There's 24 hours in a day, and I don't even sleep that much. I sleep for like 3-4 hours. Recently, for the past month or so, I've only been sleeping for like 3-4 hours. Some nights I don't even sleep at all. Friends, like I just don't even sleep at all, because I have so much work to do. Just like 2 days ago, I had so much work to do. I couldn't sleep. I just had to do the work, and I just pray that God will just help me, because I am overwhelmed. That was the purpose of me coming on here, actually, was the fact that I am overwhelmed. Thank God for my team. Thank God for my team that includes my husband, my sisters, my parents. Thank God for them, because if I didn't have them, guys, I don't know what I would do. All I need to do is just talk to them. And one thing, well, my husband and I would have been married at the end of August. At the end of August for 7 years. And my husband is like a big brother. That's how I see him. He's like my big brother. My parents only have 3 kids, and I'm the first one. So I don't have anyone above me. Both of my sisters have someone above them, but I don't have anyone above me. And so when I was growing up, my dad was like my big brother, even though it wasn't until I got older that I told him that. But I saw my dad as a big brother, even as, of course, as a father, because he would give me real life situations and real life tips. My dad was such a big brother, because even when we were growing up, especially when it got to a point where we started developing, and my dad knows that, oh God, I have beautiful girls. I need to make sure that nobody messes these girls up. So my dad will give us scenarios. He will pretend like he was a man, and he will approach us, try to sweet talk us, and then he wanted to see how we would respond. So I really, really appreciated that when I was growing up, because my dad really was my big brother, and he still is, even though he's my daddy and I love him, but he's my big brother, my big brother. And now my husband is my big brother. He talks to me like a little sister, of course, as a wife, but he really, really helps me to understand life. My husband and I have some years between us. We are not that close in age, but we do have some years between us. And he has lived life. He has seen more than I have seen, obviously. And he can understand it too, from a man's perspective, differently. Women, we do things with emotions. Men, they don't really do things like that. My husband is very not emotional. I mean, I think he becomes emotional. If I become emotional, then he sees that, okay, I have gotten to that point. Then he becomes very sensitive. But other than that, he's very straight to the point. He gives me what I need to hear. So yesterday I was discussing something for this faith thing with my husband, and he had already told me about this a long time ago, to be honest with you, and to be honest with myself. He had already told me this a long time ago, but I didn't want to, let me be honest, I didn't want to listen. One thing about me, guys, is that I'm very stubborn. I can be very set in my ways. If I've already decided what I'm going to do, I truly don't like changing it. I don't really like change. I really hate change, and that's something that I'm working on. But he told me something that I needed to do, so a suggestion. And yesterday when he was talking to me, I really felt like a little sister who was being spoken to by her brother, telling me what to do. And it got to a point where I was like, you can't tell me what to do, even though he really can. But I did look at him like, why are you bossing me around? Like, I can make my own decisions, and I can do whatever I want to do. So at one point, he just looked at me, he smiled, and, he just said, you just have to listen to what I'm telling you. So after I got over that, you can't tell me what to do phase or moment, then I listened, and then he broke it down for me, and he wrote what he was saying down for me. And honestly, guys, it really, really makes sense. And I don't know. Baby, I know that you're listening to this, so thank you. You're probably laughing, thinking, this girl's too much, but thank you, because you really helped me. My husband is my number one fan, guys. He supports me all the time. Actually, friends, my husband is the one that pushes me the most. Like, he is so tough on me. Like, when it's time to record, there are days sometimes when I need a break. I need to just take a break. If I take a break for too long, he will look at me and tell me, get back to where you're supposed to be to do the work that you need to do. He really keeps me grounded. He keeps me on my feet. He listens to me when I need him to. He's straight to the point when he needs to be, even though I don't want to hear it. And that's what you need in a team. You want a team of people who get it to you, who gets it into your head. And then my sisters, they are very blunt. My sisters and I are very blunt girls. So we know how to get it to each other. Nope, you need to do this. You cannot do this. You need to try this. And so what my husband and I discussed last night, I discussed it again with my sisters to get their perspective on the issue. And they said the same exact thing that he said. Well, they said the same thing that he said in a different way. But the point of the matter, friends, is that you need a team. And so I was feeling overwhelmed and I needed to talk to my team, and thank God for them because they were able to help me get some clarity. Now, I know, of course, I have to go to God, which trust me, before I went to sleep last night, we had a nice discussion, God and I. And I'm sure that God is going to show me what he wants me to do. I am so excited. I'm about to cry because I'm so overwhelmed because there was a time that I didn't even know what I was supposed to do with my life. I was so confused. I would just sit there looking at other people thinking that it seems like they get what they're supposed to be doing in life. And I had no clue. And I didn't know that God was taking me through a time that would be so hard. And I think one of these days I will talk about as of right now, what I will consider my wilderness experience. He really took me through a journey, and it was on that journey that I moved closer to God. It was on that journey that certain characteristical traits that I had to drop, such as lack of patience. That was the first one that he worked on. That was the first one, and it was hard. It was painful, but I believe that I'm better than what I was when I was 20. I don't know. I'm just overwhelmed that God chose me. I'm not a saint, friends, at all. Like, I make mistakes. People get angry with me. I get angry with people. I don't do what I'm supposed to do all the time. I get mad when I'm not supposed to. I may curse you out in my head when I'm not supposed to. But God chose me for this journey, and I'm so grateful to God. I'm so thankful that he loves me that much. And he loves you that much too, friends. God loves you. He loves us all. Otherwise, God would not have put us on this earth, and God would not be providing for us daily. Think about it. He provides for you daily. Even when you have nothing, you still wake up the next day. You still have your eyes. You still have your ears. You have your mouth. You have your nose. You have the use of all your faculties. Nobody has to take a shower for you. Nobody has to dress you up. Nobody has to spoon feed you. So if you are able to do any of those things on your own, be grateful. And even if you are sick and you're listening to what I'm saying, God still loves you. The fact that you are alive means that there's hope. You just have to believe in God. You just have to believe that God can do all things. He will do all things. And I'm praying for you. Whoever is sick listening to my voice, I pray that the healing of God will come upon you right now, wherever you're located. By the sound of my voice, I pray that right now that sickness will depart. Because remember, sicknesses, they are foreign. They should not be in your body in the first place. That is an attack from the enemy. And you need to learn how to speak to that sickness and tell it to get out. So I am praying and I'm commanding that sickness, wherever you are and whomever you're in, you need to depart right now because you don't belong there. So friends, the fact that we are alive and we have this opportunity to wake up to see the sun every single day means that God loves us. He really does love us. Even though it's tough sometimes, even though you may feel like you can't do things that you need to do for your life, sometimes you may feel like everything is not working out in your favor, people are going against you, life is going against you, the world is against you. That's fine. But God is still God, and God is still good all the time. The Bible tells us that in everything, give thanks, in everything. Sometimes it may be hard to give thanks, but give thanks. Trust me, whatever you're going through in life, you better believe there's somebody that's going through something worse. Every situation, there's something worse that you can be going through. So be thankful. So be thankful to God. Friends, next week is going to be one of the best weeks of my life. I am so, well, that's what I consider it, or at least on this faith things journey. I will be attending a mixer on Tuesday to meet some people in my area who are also podcasters, and to get some ideas, to bounce ideas off of each other, to just fellowship with them, pray with them, and do things that God would love for us to do. I'm super, super excited to have this one on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I will be traveling, Thursday to Monday, the following week. I will be traveling to Texas. And in Texas, I'm going for a conference. The conference is called Podcast Movement. And on this conference, or in this conference, I'm so excited to learn so much from the people who have come before me. I love to learn at those people's feet. They are going to shed some light and give me some good tips, some good suggestions about what I could do for my show and how to make it better for you guys and how to provide better value for you. And then also, I forgot, Monday, I have every Monday, which I do every Monday, I have a mastermind that I belong to. And if you don't belong to a mastermind, please, please, please find one. Whatever your field is, find a mastermind. A mastermind is an accountability group, all right, where you have, I would suggest no more than 4 people in the group, 4 or 5 people in the group. And every week you go over what you've done for the previous week and what you plan on doing, et cetera, et cetera. And these people it's 3 of us in our group, and they are so awesome. I love them. Chris and Colleen, they are just amazing. They give us, we each give each other truthful suggestions. If we tell each other about an idea and we don't think it's going to work, we tell them. We have to be truthful, because the ultimate goal is for everyone to succeed. Not just one person, but everyone. So next week, I'm so excited. I'm just so excited to travel. I love airplanes, and I love airports, and all of this. See, my life is based on memories. I'm a big memory person. I love to create memories that I will have. I'm not a big materialistic person. No, let me take that back. Yes, no, I'm not a materialistic person. Let me see how I can phrase this. I love good things. Okay. I love quality things, quality shoes, purses, jewelry. Woo. I love accessories. I grew up in a family with a mother who loves quality pieces. So I've known good designers, Chanel, Dior. I've learned about these people, Louis Vuitton, since I was young, and I love quality things. However, I am not materialistic. And what do I mean by that? When my husband wants to do something for me, I typically don't want a gift. Okay, it is the memory that I will remember. So, when my husband and I first started dating, he would take me out to these different, I grew up in this area and he did not, but the man knew more about this area than I did. And so he would take me to these different restaurants all the time. And I'm thinking to myself, where did these places come from? Those were memories that were created. And when we got married and when we first got married, we would travel a lot. I love New York. And so New York was like a second home, and it still is. It's a place that I love being in, a city that I love to be in. And we would go there often. We traveled a lot of road trips with us. We do a lot of road trips. And actually we're about to go on one for our anniversary very soon. Those are the things that I like. I mean, if you buy me a present, yeah, I more than like, I'm the type of person, I have this mentality that I can buy it by myself. I can get it for myself. If I really want it, I can get it on my own. I don't need someone to buy for me. I love memories. Spending time with me matters to me the most. Quality time matters to me the most. And those are the times that we will get to know one another. We will learn about each other. If we don't spend time with each other, then there's no way that I'm going to get to know you. right? And I'm not only talking about with my husband, I'm talking about with people in general. If you are someone who's saying that you're my friend and we don't spend time with each other, then we're not friends. So because of that, I only have, outside of my family, outside of my sisters and my husband, I only have 3 people whom are my friends. And if they're listening to this, which they better be listening to this, they know themselves. I don't need to mention their names. It's just 4 of us in our group. And I love them, love them like my sisters. They are my sisters, those girls. They are my sisters. And they're my friends. We are friends. A friend is someone who, if something happens, they can tell you straight. Addie, that's what they call me. No, what you did was wrong. And the next minute, we love each other. We have no problem. Those are my friends. Those are the people whom I rely on. Those are the people, if there is lipstick on my teeth, they will tell me. If there's something in my nose, they will tell me. Those are who my friends are. So, what was I talking about, y'all? Oh my gosh, look at this, 25 minutes. What am I talking about for 25 minutes? All right, I need to end this very soon because I want to go buy some coffee. I could make my own coffee, but sometimes, you just prefer to just step out of the house because it's now 12:04 and I don't think I will be leaving my house until about 5 because my husband and I are going to celebrate one of his uncles who is turning 50 or who has turned 50. He's having a birthday party tonight, and so we'll be going there. And then I'll come back home and probably record some episodes and get ready for church tomorrow. I'm excited to go to church tomorrow. I'm excited about God. I love God. I love being in God's presence. I love doing God's work. I love doing God's work. Oh, that's another thing, guys. So I've been teaching. Next year, it will be 10 years that I became a teacher. Yes, 10 years. I am still very young, so you can imagine I was very young when I started teaching. I was very young as a teacher. And then I moved up the ranks. I moved up from being a high school teacher, then being hired as a teacher on the college level. So now I am a professor and I love to teach, and it's a gift that God has given me. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would want to be a teacher. It was not what I wanted to do. It was not what I prayed for. That was not my intention. That was not my goals. But God had the best plans. And so I became a teacher at a very young age. And now I don't know, I'm still talking to God. God will tell me. I think God has done what he needed to do for me in this teaching field, but God has given me something bigger. He has given me this platform, and I want to grow it to the ends of the world. I want to take God to every continent, every single continent. And so far, we have reached 6 continents. Is it 6, 5 or 6? It doesn't matter, but we have reached most of them, the majority of the continents, right? I think it's 5 continents. Yes, 5 so far, 5 continents. So I'm just so excited to keep teaching. So this year, this academic school year, I will be teaching. This next semester that's about to that we're approaching in August, I'm teaching 4 classes, which is quite a lot, 4 classes alongside this faith thing. So I really need to be structured. The good thing about me is that I have very good organizational skills. I am someone who walks around with her planner. I don't do anything outside of my planner. If you want to see me, you got to get into my planner, unless, God forbid, it's an emergency. That's the only time I deviate from that. But the following semester, which will be in the spring, I probably will only teach 1 class. We'll see, because I really want to grow this faith thing. And I am thinking, friends, that next year, May, I will retire as a secular teacher. That is what I want. That's what I've been telling God, because I want to do his work only. I want to be able to talk about God daily without somebody putting restrictions on me. And when I'm teaching in the classroom, even though God manages to come out, I can't talk about God freely. I can't just stop my lesson on the cell cycle and start talking about God. I have to teach the cell cycle. And I love biology. I love anatomy and physiology, but I love God way more. And I want to talk about God every day, all the time. I want to wake up. This is my ideal day. I want to wake up, pray, sing praises to God, pray a little bit more, take a shower, get something to eat, read my Bible, record episodes, do interviews, prepare webinars, prepare my lessons, whatever those things are that I will be doing for that particular day. And then pray some more, go to church, pray more, spend time with God, fast, sleep when I'm able to sleep. I just want to be with God. That's just what I want to do. And I'm sure God has a plan for that to happen. I'm super, super excited for that. I love talking to you guys because I feel free when I talk. I feel like me. I feel like I can just be me when I'm talking to you guys. Maybe I should open up another channel where I just do my talk, because this right here can become quite frequent. And I don't know if it's appropriate for this faith thing, even though I'm talking about it. Y'all let me know. Y'all tell me what y'all want. In fact, you guys tell me what you want. Send me questions, right? My email address is Adeola, Adeola, at thisfaiththing.com. Send me questions. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you want to know, what you want me to talk about, what you want me to share on this faith thing. Or if it's just a question, or if you just want to say, hey, just send me an email. Go to my Facebook page. It's also called This Faith Thing. Or find me on Twitter at Adeola Aduni, which is Adeola Adunni, 2 N's. All right. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on social media, even though I previously was not someone who really liked social media to that point, but I'm becoming a social media person. I don't like the word expert because I'm not an expert. I'm learning every day. And I don't know if people who think that they're experts are really experts, because they too learn every day. That's what makes them to become an expert. Let me not get too deep. All right, guys. It's 31 minutes and 28 seconds that I've been talking. I need to go. I hope that you have been blessed. I hope that your weekend will be awesome. Enjoy your weekend. Go to church, friends. Let me know how church was. In fact, I want you to tell me what the topic was in church tomorrow. So please go. Pray for me, and do know always that I'm praying for you. I pray for you every day. So also pray for me. Thanks, guys. Bye. Thank you for tuning into This Faith Thing with Adeola Aduni. Please head on over to the website at thisfaiththing.com to find the show notes and everything mentioned inside of this podcast. I pray that you have been blessed. Go in peace, and I will see you in the next episode. God bless you.